Okay, folks, how you doing? Well, here's the thing. Dan Goldman, he's a representative in Congress. He kind of came out of, I don't know, I'd never seen him before, like 6 months ago. But I think he got a memo, basically a blackmailing memo that said, "We know what you've done. We know that you've diddled around. You've had some, you've had your prostitutes. You've had all that. What we're going to do is blackmail you, and you're going to be the Biden regime's new apologist." And somebody has their hand stuck way up his ass, making him flap his jaws. And there he is right there. If you haven't seen him, let me show him to you right there. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's him. Dan Goldman. I'm sure you've seen him. This isn't a video. This is a take on Twitter. And of course, this is fun because it's a massive dog pile and a takedown of somebody who is a trust fund baby and got the memo to speak whatever comes into his mouth. And remember, he is a Democrat. He has no morality or core values in any sense at all, and is most likely has several pathologies going on right now and some cluster B disorders. He's, I think he's related to Levi Strauss or something, so he has a family fortune. That's why he does what he does. But he has been blackmailed by the Biden regime and so on, as the usual organized crime type of behavior, to be their apologist and to come to Biden's defense no matter how awful the take is. So here it is. They say in Twitchy here, Democrats sound anything but certain that President Joe Biden will be reelected in 2024. Yes, he is truly the worst candidate. If Biden is such a great president with huge support, oh yes, so many people, as they like to say, there'd be no point in all of these hypotheticals of what could happen under a second Trump administration. Make no mistake, the message being pushed by the left and the legacy media, the CIA, the intelligence agencies right now, is that, oh my gosh, when Trump gets into office, he's going to do all these horrible things, the things that we've already been doing horribly to you. It's Machiavellian, it is. And I've always wanted to say that word anyway. So, yes, there's no point in all of this if Biden was such a great president, but he's probably the worst president we've ever had in the United States. There might be, Martin Van Buren maybe, but perhaps he's one of the top two or three. So they're giving these hypotheticals now. MSNBC is pushing this, but again, it comes from the top down. None of it's organic because it all happens on the same day. MSNBC starts doing all this coverage suddenly today that's like, oh my gosh, there's this guy Kash Patel and he could be the attorney general, and have you seen him, what he might do? And Kash Patel was talking about, yeah, we're going to prosecute some people who've been involved in corruption in politics and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, you don't have to sell me on that. So as we reported earlier, oh dear, Representative Adam Schiff is taking seriously Donald Trump's threat to throw him in jail if he's reelected. Well, that seems reasonable in light of who Adam Schiff actually is. And he headed up the entire Russia hoax, going on shows like The View. I mean, he was the representative for that, the spokesman and the poster child for that. And he's a kid diddler too, so there's that. It's not that Shifty Schiff has a guilty conscience. No, he doesn't, because he's a sociopath. It's just that Trump will declare himself a dictator on day one and throw all of his political opponents in prison. And Dan Goldman, yep, here he is. Poster boy 2, Adam Schiff's up and coming, trying to emulate Adam Schiff. Boy, what a pinnacle of achievement, trying to emulate Adam Schiff. You're really reaching for the stars here. Dan Goldman, again, this trust fund baby, is trying very hard to make our list of top 10 dumbest people in Congress. He's currently being sued for defamation by former Hunter Biden business associate Tony Bobulinski for defamation for claiming he's being paid by the Trump campaign. You know what sucks about that, though, is when they get sued, they use taxpayer money. in their lawsuit. So even if they lose the lawsuit, they still dip in and use taxpayer money. They don't use their own money. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Tony Bobulinski is suing for defamation for claiming he's being paid by the Trump campaign. As so many other Democrats have, Goldman is warning us that Donald Trump will end democracy. Yada, yada, yada. Goldman is worked up. You mean the stuff that you guys are doing? You mean the the Democrat Party and Joe Biden? You mean what you have been hell-bent on doing? Yeah, Goldman is worked up about Project 2025, an effort to assemble an army of aligned, vetted, trained, and prepared conservatives to go to work on day one to deconstruct the administrative state. Don't have to sell me, said it before. Goldman claims, get this, that Trump will weaponize the Justice Department to target his political enemies. Yep. You heard it from the Democrats, and you'll see the commentary. It pretty much sums it up. Dan Goldman says, puppet and Adam Schiff prototype, Trump and his allies are planning to weaponize the DOJ. Sounds like what the DOJ is being done to already by the Biden regime, and abuse the tools of justice to target political enemies without evidence. And remember, as they say, every accusation from a Democrat is a confession. So you're just hearing a confession here of what they know, what they're doing. And abuse the tools of justice to target political enemies without evidence. Trump's Project 2025 will decimate our institutions and end democracy as we know it. No, it will end your power. Okay, democracy. I know what you guys mean by democracy. They mean totalitarianism. They use that term to try to gaslight you. But no, he's saying, imagine it this way. Trump's project will decimate our institutions and end totalitarianism as we know it. We must stop him in November. Our democracy depends on it. How many times have you heard that phrase? Our democracy depends on it. Our democracy depends on it. Remember, every news station was parroting that line for a long, long time? They still do. It's pretty gross. Fortunately, we have a House committee looking into the weaponization of the Justice Department. Chesterton report. If you didn't break the law, there's nothing to worry about. Wasn't that a thing that you said? Yeah. Okay, Jeff Carlson says Goldman, like every good fascist, accuses his enemies of what he's already doing. Touché. And once again, how many times did you or your team meet with Hunter Biden during Trump's first impeachment, Dan? Adam in H-Town says the level of projection from the Democrat Party is beyond parody at this point. Todd Peterson follows up with, you can't be this stupid or blind to what Biden is doing, therefore I'll just assume you're a corrupt, evil man. Objectively true. Truth Ninja, Mr. Goldman, when you are indicted, we will trust the grand jury's analysis of the evidence. We will let a jury decide your ultimate guilt or innocence. I mean, if you are innocent, you have nothing to fear, right? You said that, didn't you? If you didn't break the law, there's nothing to worry about, right, Goldman? You said that. Oh, it's hard when things come up and bite you in the ass. The iron law of woke projection never misses. Yep. You set the precedent, buddy. Yeah, Larry Labate, it says, LOL, that is really rich. So the folks that have already weaponized the DOJ are worried about someone else weaponizing it? Hypocrite. John Joseph, always accuse your enemy of what you are doing yourself. You are evil, bro. Yep, pure projection. You Democrats are interfering in the election using your weaponized DOJ. Oh, indeed, they are. Headed up by, Jack Smith? Sir, the plan is to de-weaponize the DOJ and its agencies. That's what's really... Read the subtext, folks. Read the subtext. They're afraid that all the crimes that they've been committing, that Trump's going to come after them, and he's going to go, it's time to get a grand jury, Dan. Oh, Adam, you too. So that's what they're really afraid of. Okay, our democracy at stake? No, your crimes will be revealed. And your crimes will be justice, well, they'll be punished, hopefully. We'll see. Remember, this is politics in America, so we'll see how this goes. Kind of like this administration is doing to him, woohoo, and doing to us. Yep, Biden has been doing this the past few years. That's why we call it the Biden regime. We don't call it the Biden administration. It's a regime. It's a banana republic regime that is weaponizing every department it can to destroy and deconstruct the United States and to start throwing, weaponizing it against anybody that disagrees with them. And how dare you use your free speech? So this is the biggest pot calling the kettle black in history. Did it occur to you that just maybe you're the ones decimating institutions, and just maybe those betraying our country by decimating said institutions need to be held accountable? Ooh, don't say that word. Accountability. Kryptonite. The Democrats' kryptonite is accountability, isn't it? Oh, man, they hate that. They hate that. You guys, maybe you should have thought of this before you did the same thing to him. Are you upset, Dan, that someone else will be playing your game? You should probably start planning your exit strategy, because I suspect you will be on the list of traitors that are prosecuted. Correct. And your corrupt version of democracy and restore the United States to a constitutional republic and its sovereignty. So essentially, it's the perfect Saul Alinsky strategy of accusing your opponent of exactly what you're doing. Machiavelli, all these guys talk about the same thing. There's people throughout history, they have excelled at being deconstructionists and laying out how to deconstruct. And one of the biggest proponents and benefactors of this is Barack Obama. Barack Obama is the king of deconstruction. He started all this bullshit when he was president. One of the worst presidents too. Yeah, next to Biden. He has caused all this division with his cabinet. And the Biden regime, the reason they're doing what they're doing is not because Biden's a smart man. It's because the cabinet is the same. It's Obama's same cabinet. And they don't believe in constitutional republic. They believe in totalitarianism. Yes, they do. They are communists. So Saul Alinsky, who himself was an anarchist, communist, bullshitter, it was his strategy of accusing your opponent of exactly what you're doing. And Obama said that once. Saul Alinsky's book is one of the best books I've ever read. So Democrats made these rules without thinking that one day a Republican would be president again. Yes, they did. They did that. That's why they're going all in, because they're thinking if we can nab this election, we'll have a one-party state forever, right? Isn't that their dream? But they forget that, I don't know, man. These things come back and kind of bite you in the ass. So, as I said already. So anyway, let me know what you think of Representative Dan Goldman, the trust fund baby, and this definite projection that's coming straight out of Saul Alinsky's book. And so remember, like I said earlier, every accusation from a Democrat is a confession. So anyway, with that, thank you for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. And please subscribe. Please put a like on the video if you like it. And I will talk to you later.